All right, greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, All Relations. We have
Mm.
Ryan G with us,
Yo.
Guided Primal Sutra podcast. Today we're talking all about astrology, okay? It may be some of your expertise or favorite topic, but this is just something we've been exploring throughout our path working, and we're going to talk about what's the most optimal or ideal way to look at astrology from
Fair
our
enough.
Nexus's lens.
Indeed. So let's start with some definitions. To me, astrology is, the basics. What is your rising first and foremost? Then, of course, you have your natal chart, which goes even deeper. Then you have the different styles of astrology. You have the more Western
Yeah, the
astrology that,
Vedic.
you can read in the newspaper, etc., Then you have
Remember
the
we did that like Mayan astrology once too? Man, we went into random astrology,
I
like
don't know. I
gene
think you did it.
keys,
Gene Keys, I remember us doing indeed.
human design, yeah, all that stuff.
And ultimately, all of this is getting to know yourself
Right.
in
But
order to,
it's not like getting to know yourself like it's a personality quiz. It's more like a cosmic manual uh,
okay, okay,
that
I
guides
can see
you
that.
in a certain way.
Huh.
Because if you get your identity attached to like I'm a Libra, so I must be this. I'm a Scorpio, so I must be intense all the time. I'm a
I agree.
this, I'm a that, right?
I
So
agree. So one rule that I like to apply is anything that empowers me, I'll take on. So let's say I have a lot of Leo aspects. Let me take on the powers of Leo and explore what that aspect of my character can bring to the table,
right.
right? Same thing
Mhm.
for other stuff. And
Yeah.
thereby also wondering, okay, what is the shadow side of a Leo?
Yeah.
What traumas tend to be connected to a Leo character? Can I see this in
Yeah,
Sable?
always like I would always go in with a specific intention that you want and then
Mhm.
look at the specific natal chart like okay, Lilith my dark fantasy or like that side of
So
me that's
Chiron,
like
the wounded
yeah,
healer,
Chiron the wounded healer
Chiron, I
like
mean.
yeah. Yeah, so just like don't be like this is just how I am. Like that
So
kind of spirituality kind of cringes me out. Like
so correct me
people
if I'm wrong. To become so attached to whatever the output of, let's say, an astrology quiz is, would be detrimental to your evolution. Whereas
yeah.
taking it as a reference might help chart your next step, so to speak.
Yeah.
I see,
Yeah.
I see.
It's like the information without initiation is the problem, right? It's like the maps without the movement. So like let's say you're like, "Oh, my Saturn is transiting me. That's why I'm stuck." Right? It
Ooh,
feels intelligent, but nothing changes, bro. Like it's
so
lots of stimulation but no offspring in reality.
I can see that. I can see that. I like what Faraz is saying. Astrology and tools such as that should be used as growth. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Use the tools to grow, to learn, and see where you can go. If you can imagine life as a game, as an RPG, as a role-playing game, so to speak, and as you, the hero of your own story, journeys, you find references to your point of creation or birthing, right? And from there, you might see what, let's say, the Arabic culture has to say about your specific date and time and whatever. Maybe the
Yeah.
Mayans have something to say about that, or the Vedic astrology. And bit by
That's the
bit,
thing, it's training, right? Like
it is
astrology
training.
is what forces are moving through you. It's not who you are always. So it's a big difference. You're working with planetary forces and energies.
Right.
That's the godlike perspective, at least. Like what archetypal force is active right now?
Yeah,
Maybe it is my Libra, maybe it is my Virgo, right? So
true.
that and where is it stuck in my body? That's another good question.
True. So it's kind of like sailing, you know, manning a ship on different dimensions because
Mm,
you, the
yeah, it's a
captain, yes,
timing
you need to
tech.
bring exactly, you need to bring the ship from point A to point B. But I can imagine, and I've never, sailed on a ship before, but I can imagine every wave that you meet might have a different impact. And if you can imagine every day being a new wave, every new day has a new energy to it. And
Yeah,
it's what you want to do with it. So are there some basic principles that I like to apply astrology-wise? Possibly. I mean, GG 33 has a app called Q, which might help you. But besides that, I would just recommend what is your personal year? Let's say your personal
mm,
year is a one. Well, this is the year for you to step up in your leadership role, etc.
mm,
And do
mm.
something with that today.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not your chart, you're the conscious just using the chart, remember.
Yeah,
So,
it's the same thing
yeah,
as a captain of a ship. You're charting where the ship is in reference to the chart that you have. Because again, life is chaos. And it's up to you as a captain of your boat, of your ship, to bring it to its destination, wherever that may be.
I'm the captain now. Yeah,
You
exactly.
are the captain now.
Yeah,
But
storm
if you,
doesn't ask who it is, it just moves, right? Just it's a force of nature, it just acts. So
the storm
that's your
will
astrology.
arrive whether you like it or not.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's in that knowledge, because after a storm, there will be sunshine. And with storm, there will be waves, etc., etc., etc. And whatever retrograde that you might be going through, you could fall back on those things. That being said, the way I like to play this little game of astrology is if there's a retrograde and it happens to hit, let's say, my major points, let's say Mercury or whatever, cool. I'll play a Mercury frequency just to supplement, just in
Right. And
case I need
not
it.
many people know that tech, right? It's like a lot of people are just going to be held back, but someone who knows that they can listen to something and change their consciousness. Like I remember Ellie saying that you're beyond your astrology, and I really believe that because, if you're having a low level view like Saturn in my chart means that I struggle with discipline, right? And you label that, that will keep you in a loop. But if you're like,
Yeah.
no, the Saturn pressure means I'm being trained for authority, right? That's a
Mm.
way better framing. So it's all about the framing, really.
But that means that if Earth is ruled by Saturn, it is then ruled by those who are willing to be bold and take action and take leadership wherever they go. Which is funny enough,
Yeah.
something that came about in the last channeling or two.
Mm.
I forgot which one it was. Um, the point
Yeah, I
is,
don't think like your astrology doesn't change the your work ethic or your boundaries. It
no,
changes like your breath depth, your tension patterns, your fatigue cycles,
true.
like where your libido crashes, whatever it is, like or changes or
Right.
sleep rhythms, right? That kind of stuff.
So it's almost like it's a reference to a future timeline, possibly, right? Where
Mm.
you as the
Hmm.
captain of your ship can decide, hey, I want to go this way, not that way. So that means I might have to supplement here and there or something along those lines, right? It's kind of my same qualm with being overly attached to what is written in your hand, right? The palm
Oh
reading,
yeah,
right?
I'm
I
reading. Yeah,
I could get so attached to the analysis of it that I get paralyzed, and do
yeah,
nothing or live in fear or whatever. Or I can, grab my own balls and do what is needed to get the future that I want. And if it means,
yeah,
cool, let's say it is evident that, I don't know, uh, I have a weak Jupiter, for example. Cool. If that is true, then let's explore it. before I even
Hey,
make
get
it.
some yellow sapphire, bro.
Get some
Like
that
get something
sapphire.
stones, yeah, that balance that energy out. That's what they do in the Hindu astrology for sure. Like that's how I got my these stones, ruby and coral, or maybe it's
Cobalt.
cobalt or copal, right? It's
That
called
makes
copal.
sense.
Um,
That makes
so
sense.
yeah, um, and I was lacking in those, so it's like now that I wear them, I have that kind of energetics to back my storyline better in a certain sense.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. I need to find me those
yeah,
two
it's here to
because
make you more capable. It's not like who am I according to my chart, but what must I do so this energy doesn't destroy me.
so there's another perspective. It's also what should I be learning and growing in,
Yeah.
right? It's only after like years of research I found out I'm not merely Virgo because
Mm,
I always thought I was a Leo based on my behavior. I never really associated myself with Virgo until I realized, oh, these are two aspects of myself that deserve to be expressed. And then speaking of
right.
expression, all aspects of you deserve a form of expression. Let's say you have a
Mm,
lot of Cancer in your natal chart. That's a very emotional sign, in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
mm,
So are there mediums in ways that you can express yourself emotionally? Blah, blah, blah,
right.
blah,
Yeah.
blah. So why not give that space for that aspect of yourself?
I think the way that people should perceive astrology is like those like shows like Star Wars, Star Trek, like you know,
Okay?
Star Command, whatever. Like, yeah, you're star commanding, you're not stargazing, right? You're not overthinking the stars. You're commanding the stars like this is who I am, right? I am that. So yeah,
Okay.
I think that energy is really powerful when you're just like, I am this archetype, full stop, right? And then the astrology kind of matches that or weaves into that in
I
some way.
see what you mean. So if you look at a native chart and you look at the native chart as a archetype,
Yeah,
that means you
exactly.
decide to be stuck as an archetype. And I believe you're also referencing The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, right? Because some people
Yeah.
identify more with, let's say, the natural or whatever, right? And if you decide to just stay the natural, you will never, know or learn more about the other archetypes that is thus losing out on the option to grow um within those skills such an archetype has.
Yeah, and with this like AI technology, it's becoming very hackable to be able to work with your astrology very quickly, very fast. So I think that like you don't need to spend the time putting in all the numbers, and you could just ask ChatGPT, right? Or nowadays at least. So
Nowadays, I would agree. I would agree. I will say, use your head. It is just reference.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, don't listen to a robot when it comes down to life, bro. Like you're gonna be dependent on a robot then. So it's
Exactly.
like,
Don't become so obsessed about AI. Use AI as a tool for efficiency because should you give it the right references, whether it's in a large language model or a small language model, it doesn't matter. Give it the right references,
mm,
give it the right data, and it can spew out the output quicker that you're expecting. It
right.
is not about the tool, it is about the intention and thus the result that you want to reach. So, in my humble opinion, also, AI can make mistakes, as Faraz on Zoom states well. It can make
Yeah,
mistakes,
yeah,
but
yeah.
be willing to explore.
Yeah,
So,
use whatever you can to simplify. I remember I did this challenge, the social media challenge for 10 days or whatever, and they had us use our astrology to tell our backstory of our like our business. So it used like the chart as a filter to then create copywriting, which is great, which is a brilliant fucking idea. So
right.
yeah, anybody listening, just yeah, tap into that and see if you can Like for instance, I was just asking Ryan recently, like, hey man, what's your um did I say Jupiter? Yeah,
Yeah.
what's your Jupiter in? Because it's associated with luck. So we can
Oh yeah, should
use
I
that
say it?
and amplify. You can if you want.
Okay. My Jupiter is Leo in fourth house.
Right.
And then I did a little
Exactly.
bit more
So,
research, and it did make sense that every time I would be authentically expressing myself and having fun doing it, a lot of luck would turn my way, which is then ironic given the fact that last year was like by far like wasn't even a roller coaster. It felt like a washing machine. Right? It felt
Yeah.
like a completely
Hey there,
washing
Ellie.
machine. And it,
Yeah.
for me at least, I don't know for you, Sumit, but it felt like 4 years went by in a year.
Yeah.
And was that the same for you as well? Because it felt like
Yeah.
very intense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I had to go through a lot of evolutions very quick in like a Jesus. Anyway, we're not gonna go into that. But the point is, study your chart and understand what the expression of it is, so that you can give it room to be itself. Because it would be a shame for you not to explore those aspects of oneself. And that
Yeah.
should help you in whatever you're manifesting.
Yeah, and I think you can also find out your soulmate thing. I know that Ellie did it using this app, and it like found out the right coordinates of the moon. Um, Something to do with the moon. I'm guessing. I'm not too sure about it, but it's super interesting because it uses the. I think it uses the Vedic, right? Or maybe even Western. So yeah,
I don't
knowing
know
the
that.
Vedic is really really beneficial, I would say, because that stuff is ancient, man. It's old.
Mm,
It's like the Vedas are so interesting because it's so enriching, right? There's a lot of like nuances to it. So
yeah.
yeah, if you look at your sidereal or your Vedic, then that will really help you out because that will show you like the like other side of your astrology. Like maybe I could be wrong, but I think I'm a Libra in Vedic, right? But in Western, I'm Scorpio. So
Mm.
that like shows like a reflection of like this kind of Western mind, Eastern mind type of thing within,
Well,
right?
I think
So
it's
a
kind of
Westerner looking
similar
at the
to,
Vedic might thrive. Yeah.
right. I think it's kind of the same thing as when you tend to switch character when you're speaking English to when you're speaking Bengali or Dutch or
Right.
whatever, right? I mean, you've
Yeah.
noticed when I switch from English to Dutch, I'm a different guy.
Yeah.
Immediately, I'm a different guy. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched to have the same experience with different astrologies. And thus, it all comes back to use what is useful, discard what is not. That
So
whole
do you
Bruce
think
Lee quote.
there's any validity to, or it's like, fire signs being fire signs, or like is there just like it's all like Pokemon or whatever, like these elements just all work together?
I think it's more complicated than that. So I'll give you the most simplest answer. Um, I think it's useful juju.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
think it's useful mumbo jumbo, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's very useful ooga booga or whatever you want to say it, right?
Yeah, yeah, pseudoscience or whatever. Yeah,
It is
it's
useful
the
because it does at minimum spice up life. It does make me curious about myself because let's be honest, no one in this world is more important than thyself. Other than, of course, if you have kids, that's a different story. But assuming, for what it is, you are,
well, it's an extended story. Your kids would be your extended story, right?
I
A
would
different
say
story.
submit, and for us, you stop making me laugh because you almost caught me off guard, you bastards. Um, if you read the comments that for us is
Yeah,
leaving behind.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, the point is, if it's can spice up my business, why not? I don't mind using astrology or whatever tool to enhance whatever is available in my life. It's the same thing with traveling across the desert, and according to the map, there should be an oasis here. I'm gonna look for the oasis and see if I can chill a bit here. Maybe this is the moment for me to chill. It's the same thing as when we went to Sedona, the energy of the place was forcing me to surrender instead of being active. Cool.
Yeah.
And then the question became, can I surrender? Can I slow down and still reach my goals? Can I let go of whatever schedule of agenda that we thought we had and just let it all go and focus on what
Nature
is,
does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished, right?
well, the
Like that
divine
energy.
timing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of which, could we use astrology for what we perceive as divine timing? I say, yeah, why not? Because
Yeah.
ultimately, it's all about getting closer to a more optimal timeline, a more optimal way of living, etc.
As long as you are in your choice and your freedom, your synchronicity will max out into positive. But if you
And then,
lose those two things, you go immediately into negative belief system. So just fair warning to the audience. Be in your choice and freedom. That's gonna like sovereignty. You know what I mean? Like I am the one
yeah,
who chooses and decides at the end of the day. I intend to see that which I choose to see, and yeah, that's it. Like just be a commander of these stars. Not don't be swayed by them so much that you end up in retrograde and all
right.
these planets and shit. Yeah,
Ultimately, you are the captain of your own ship, and that's all you
yeah,
can do. Try to make a informed decision, and should you want to make an informed decision with experts, we know a few, which includes us. We are going towards the last 3 minutes of this podcast. My main takeaway is technically what you said, be a sovereign of your own life. Only you can make a difference in your life. Find the people that
right
can
on.
help you, find the tools that can help you. At minimum, if you can't make a vision board, fucking write down what you need this year. Where do you want to be at the end of this year? Can you use astrology for that? Use all the tools that you can. It's available. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
What about you, Sumit?
Yeah, basically, don't stay in your head with the astrology. Just be in your physical presence, in your
Mm,
body. Just notice what it does to you, how it moves you, the secret inner workings of your mind and body. And just try to examine your life in such a way that you understand that the menu is not the meal, right?
the
So
menu
it's
is not
like,
the meal.
okay,
Well said. Well
right?
said.
So it's yeah, it's going to be a little bit different, but as long as you keep that map uh, strong and sorted and
Hmm.
understand that yes, they're different planetary shifts. Just don't get caught up in like how one astrologer said this and another one had a doomsday prediction and another one said that. It's like everyone, every psychic, every individual comes from their own world. So just leave
Right.
it as is.
Yeah.
It's only what we feed with our minds that the egregore will actually form in the
Right.
future. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. What do you want to feed?
All right.
I want to feed what
Mhm.
empowers me. I want to feed what makes me grow.
It may stay
Sure,
alive. Yeah.
I don't mind being shined, but anything that doesn't serve me shouldn't serve me, and that's the end of it. Yeah, yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
that's it.
Awesome,
Anything
man.
else would be for those interested in the theme of this month, it is just January. I would say just to keep it in theme, learn to have fun and laugh at the ridiculousness that is life, which includes astrology.
Yeah, try and watch
What?
some stand-up this month as well. Like
Oh
even
yeah,
if it's live or even if it's on like Netflix or whatever, like it's a good idea to force laughter, even if you're not laughing. Just
yeah,
count your fingers, ha 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 ha. Just count your fingers, and
indeed,
force laughter out. Yeah, it's awesome.
indeed.
All right, guys,
I think we're at
peace.
the end of it, indeed.
Yeah,
May never be the same again.